My next guest is coming off another impressive victory, this time over Lucas Almeida at UFC Fight Night back on June 17th. It's Pat Sabatini, live from the car right now. Pat, how are you?
Man, could not be better, brother. On my way to do some fishing, and it's great to be on the interview with you again.
Yeah, and I won't cut too much into the fishing time. I know how important that is. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But congratulations, man. What a win. Very dominant performance. Were you expecting that? I know you expected to win, but do you expect to dominate him that much in the fight?
Well, I went out there. I knew as soon as I got the matchup, I was like, I cannot let this guy get started. So I knew that as soon as that first bell rang, I had to get in his face and bring the fight to him and get it to where I wanted it to go. And I feel like in between rounds, I kind of knew I had him.
Was there more pressure going into this fight just because you came off your first loss in the UFC, or did you just treat it like any other fight?
No, there was definitely a higher sense of urgency and pressure, going into this one because I knew I couldn't lose another one, and a lot of people were doubting me from the last performance, which I expected. But no, I had to go out there and I had to make a statement against a super tough opponent.
Going into the fight, was it the right amount of time off, or were you hoping to get a fight a bit sooner than that?
I wanted to fight a little bit sooner than that, but I've been, keeping my weight under control, staying in shape, getting my sparring rounds in for months, just in case something popped up sooner. We were scheduled to fight on the Vancouver card, but that fell through, and it just so happens his opponent got hurt as well, and it kind of made sense to fight that following week, and got the opportunity and jumped on it.
I was going to text you because I saw that news because Dana White had the board up and it said that you were supposed to fight Gavin Tucker at UFC 289. And then the fight, I guess, sort of fell out because I live in Vancouver. We would have finally met. It would have been cool. I could have given you some good spots to fish, but nonetheless, it was good to see you get this. I know it's pretty crazy, right? Like how everything works out, because Lucas was supposed to fight Hakeem Dawodu on that card, right? So they just put you two together, I guess.
Yeah, that's what happened. But man, we could have met up.
I know. One of these days. Are you going? Are you going for Sean's fight in next month at UFC 290 or no?
So I was on the fence going to that, but I think that weekend I'll be down in Florida.
No worries. One of these days, because I'll be there for Sean's fight next month. That's I just sort of pick and choose which events I want to go to. But anyways, back to you, man, and the fight. Again, it was a flawless performance as far as I could tell. Was there anything about him that surprised you in the fight at all?
I kind of expected him to start letting honestly, yeah, it surprised me. I thought he was going to come out throwing a flying knee. For some reason, I thought that's how the fight was going to start. But no, I just, like I said, I knew I couldn't let him get started. And, I just felt his gas tank start to lower and lower and lower as the, fight went on.
Did you get to enjoy yourself after the fight? Did you get to celebrate?
Yeah, we went to a restaurant, got some good food. We almost missed our flight the following morning and they lost our bags. We just found them actually. But yeah, man, been just spending some time with the girlfriend, the family, eating some good food. Already went back to training. I just came from the gym. Yeah, man, like I feel like with good moments and bad moments, you can't get too invested in them because they're very temporary. But I definitely got to relax this week, get my mind somewhere else and, not think about it.
What better place to do that than going fishing? Just last thing on the fight. Were you surprised you didn't get a bonus? I figured you might've got one with that win.
I thought it was possible, but, I'm just, grateful to get the win. I wasn't, too upset about it, but it definitely would have been very nice if, got that bonus, but next time.
Wanted to ask you about a big fight in your division on the same card as your teammate Sean Brady. We've got Alex Volkanovski-Rodriguez. That's the title in your division. Who do you see having the edge in that fight? Who do you think gets it done?
So I'm a very, very big, always have been Volkanovski fan. I think he's going to take the fight to him, and I think he's going to run through him, in my opinion. Yeah, Volk's the man.
So we mentioned it there. You're going fishing. Is this like just for the day, or do you have any other like fishing trips planned? Because it's a nice time of the year. I imagine you'd want to get away for a couple days.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm actually going down to Florida the week of.
Sean's fight. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get down in like the Tampa, St. Pete area, get some good fishing in. But yeah, today was kind of like a last minute thing. I got done training at Web Fitness, which is in South Jersey, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna head down to Brigantine Beach and see what I could do. If anything, it's just some solitude, some relaxing time.
This Florida trip, are you going by yourself or are you going with some other people? Because I know when you typically go fishing, you like to go on your own, right?
I mix it up. My buddy Mike just moved down there, so it's kind of a fishing trip and going to see him, catch up with him. So I think we're gonna probably both go fishing together. So that'd be
Nice.
cool. And I got another friend too. His name's Pearson. He's gonna meet us down there too. So it's gonna be fun, man.
That's nice, man. You're making a nice trip out of it too, which is great. You can catch up with your buddies and do some fishing. Doesn't get much better than that, right? So
Of course, man. I love, I've never been to the Tampa area, but I just love traveling. I love seeing new places, meeting new people, experiencing life, big, very big on that.
yeah, I'm the same way. Better have experiences than own things, because that's all you're going to remember at the end of the day. You're not going to remember something you bought at a store. You're going to remember, hey, I went fishing in Tampa, right? Like that. That's what life's about, in my opinion. So
100%. Experiences are definitely more valuable than, items, in my opinion, as well.
when do you want to get back in there? I know you want to enjoy a little bit of fishing right now, but you mentioned, wanting to fight a bit sooner than this last fight. Do you have an ideal return date of when you want to get back in there next?
So I kind of made a deal with myself not to really make that decision right this week, but I'm kind of leaning towards sooner rather than later. I do have a couple small little injuries. I just want to get checked out this week, but who knows, man? Maybe August, September, October, November, somewhere in there, I'd say.
Do you have a couple more fights left in your contract? I was trying to remember that.
So I believe I have one more fight on this second contract.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that's good because you're coming off a big win. I suppose if you wanted to renegotiate before the last one, you got some leverage here, right?
Yeah, I definitely hope so. I just want to, do good by the promotion and, just be as exciting as I can and, take these tough fights and come out on top.
Is there any opponents in mind, or you just kind of leave that up to your coaches and everyone else?
Honestly, I never been one to call anyone out. The only person I would definitely, take a fight with would be a rematch with Damon Jackson. I would love that. But other than that, whoever the UFC throws at us and whoever my coaches think is the best matchup and makes the most sense for where I'm at in my career right now.
Well, Damon's fighting Billy Quarantillo. I don't know if maybe you want the winner of that or something. Would that be interesting?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good fight, by the way.
Yeah,
What's that? July, August?
I think so. Something like that. I'm going to find the date right now as I'm typing this, but I just think that that's either way, like whoever wins that fight, they're both exciting fighters. That's on August 5th is that fight. That's the Nashville card, I think. So,
Oh, nice. Nice.
So there you go. Little future matchmaking. I'll throw another name out here. And again, you're not calling anyone out. It's just something I noticed. Did you see that Jose Chepe Marscal just signed with the UFC? He's fighting this weekend against Trevor Peek. I know that was one of the losses you had earlier in your career. I know you're ahead of him, so to speak, because you've been in the UFC for a while. But is that a rematch you'd want down the line?
Definitely, man. I thought that was a really, really razor close fight when we met last. That's something I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to for sure if it made sense, at the time that it was given for sure. That's a good matchup, actually. That's this weekend, you said?
Yeah, so he's moving up a weight. It's short notice, so he's moving up a weight class to fight Trevor Peek, who's undefeated and has looked outstanding. So interesting matchup. I see a lot of people writing Chepe off, but I've known Chepe for years, just doing interviews with him. He's going to give Trevor a good fight. I'm looking forward to it on Saturday.
Dude, listen, I'm a fan of that Peak guy for sure, but dude, I honestly think Chepe's gonna win that one. Honestly,
Okay,
that's my opinion right there.
there you go. Because he's a decent underdog, I think, going in on the betting lines. Although you guys can't bet, but yeah, just putting that information out there if anyone's watching this, which is great.
That's good info.
I got a buddy of mine. So Pat, before we get out of here, I got a buddy of mine who's from Philly, and he asked me to ask you about, I hope I'm saying this right, Mazzanti's Market Italian Hoagie.
Oh, let me tell you. I'll tell you all about it right now.
Okay, let's hear it.
So
Let's hear it.
this place, right? It's on a small street in Bristol. It's been there for, dude. It could have been there for 100 years, right? This small little shop, the best hoagies. I'm telling you what, like the best hoagies in the world come out of this little shop. Mazzanti's Italian Market. You gotta go there, right on Lincoln Avenue in Bristol.
If I ever go to Philly, I'm gonna jot this down. I'm gonna make sure I got it all squared up, and I'll definitely have to go. Because I love the mom and pop places. I think there's more love put in the food when you get places like that as opposed to these chains. Like, I never understand people, and you'll probably agree with me here. Whenever you go traveling, I always see people go to like a food chain, like a McDonald's. It's like, you can get that at home. Just go somewhere that's like unique. You know, that's what I say.
Mom and pop shops all day for sure. But yeah, man, if you're ever in the area, dude, we're gonna go in there. I know right what to order. We
Okay.
got it.
I'll trust you. I'll trust you for sure. And Pat, this was an awesome interview. Again, I don't want to cut in too much to the fishing time. Hopefully you get something booked soon. But in the meantime, man, if you got anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Follow me on social media, Patrick Sabatini _MMA. As far as sponsors go, the only sponsor right now that I want to just shoot out there is my OnlyFans page. Subscribe. Other than that, thanks again for having me on here, and looking forward to talking to you in the future.